Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 89 of the In From Japan podcast, the podcast where we talk about the latest news on Japan-developed games and other things in relation to them. Available on YouTube and in most places podcasts can be found. As always, I'm your host, Erroll Moss, with my co-host, the phenomenon from Suriname, Jason Corder.
Hey.
And we don't have any housekeeping right now, except for there are a bunch of Tokyo Game Show sales going on right now on Xbox and Steam and PlayStation. Yeah. So definitely go check those out.
Also on the Nintendo eShop.
Yes, also on Nintendo. I wasn't sure, but yeah, I guess on the eShop too.
Well, to be fair, it's not branded as Tokyo Game Show sale, but
right.
A lot of Japanese developers.
Neither is the PlayStation one, right? The PlayStation one is the big in Japan sale.
Yeah, and Xbox has Tokyo Game Show sale, and
yeah, Xbox actually is the Tokyo Game Show sale, and so is Steam.
And Steam has either an umbrella sale or individual publishers having
something like that.
TGS sales.
So yeah, go check those out. There's some Castlevania games on sale, some Yu-Gi-Oh games on sale. I'm blanking now. Bandai Namco games on sale, Square Enix games. For your Final Fantasies and your Dragon Quest. I'm just trying to cover my bases here.
If you can cosplay it, or if it turns you into a weeb, it's probably on sale.
Yeah, so we're gonna get right into the Japanese games we've been playing recently. I finished Tales of Arise.
Yay!
I hated it. No, I'm just kidding. I can't believe people like this series. No, it was fine.
Uh-huh.
It was the last boss, or the last like set of bosses, and there will be a Tales of Arise spoiler. So skip ahead to, I guess, the J list if you don't want spoilers. Yeah. But the like, because there are like the three different bosses, right? As like kind of grouped together as like a series of fights.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on the second part, I was very close to dying.
Okay.
And somehow I had like 1 HP, and I somehow just barely made it out. And of course, on the last fight, there's a point where you don't even have health, and it just lets you
go ham.
Yeah.
So what?
For story reasons, so I'm just like, all right.
What of the second fight was giving you trouble? Was it because you were under-leveled, or?
It might have been because I was under-leveled. Mm-hmm. It might be because a friend of mine was telling me like melee characters don't work that great.
I don't agree with that. Because the second boss...
Like, because their health goes down pretty fast.
Well, the second boss phase has two exposed cores you need to break on each side, left and right. And a melee character would be fine for that battle. Right. And besides, most people will be playing with Alphen, and I think the game is also mostly designed with Alphen in mind. So it'd be really weird if Alphen wasn't...
Maybe I just wasn't like dodging enough. Who knows? But I got past it. Mm-hmm. I got through it because I was like, the whole time I was thinking like, oh God, if I have to start this over, because when you have to start like a 3-part boss fight over and watch the cutscene again, that's very annoying.
Well, in a Tales game, it's not as bad because it's usually you have your.
It'll let me skip it.
No, besides that, you have. Action combat. If it was a different RPG with turn-based, it would kind of be a drag because that takes a whole lot more time.
No, I'm just saying more just watching the cutscene and having to go through the whole thing again.
Yeah, you can't skip cutscenes if I'm not mistaken. You can just skip through the dialogue.
Yeah,
which is weird.
Because it reminds me of like the original version of the first Kingdom Hearts when I was stuck on Ursula for a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, it was bad.
But how much time did you end up spending in Tales of Arise? Total.
30-something hours, I want to say.
That's.
I'd have to look.
Pretty close.
But it's pretty.
To not close. Close-ish.
It's less than what I expected.
Well, most...
I was expecting 50, but I was also on the lowest difficulty as suggested by several people because it was my first Tales game that I've really gone through.
Well, I'd say you'd be fine on the normal difficulty, but...
I might have been a lot more annoyed.
Well, no, it's hard to say because my acceptance for what a Tales game is might be different than what your acceptance is of a Tales game. So,
Right.
yeah. So, besides that, 30-ish hours is pretty much within the norm of what the reviews have said. Most are within like 41 hours, I thought. Some 50. I ended up...
And those are probably doing a lot more side quests than I was.
Yeah, I ended up playing close to 80 hours. But that was literally me cleaning up every single thing activity to do, like fishing, all the side quests, not all the arena
I
quests.
wanted to do more fishing, but it kind of annoyed me because I wanted to get more of that sea bream because it makes you the food that gives you experience, but
yeah,
it just got annoying at a certain point.
Well, were you buying the lures?
Yeah, I did that a little later. I was
Okay,
but,
so you had to buy the lures. You had to fish. Well,
in a certain area that has them.
Besides that, you have to have like increments of 10, 15, 20 fish recorded, and then the fish guru gives you bonuses,
right.
like new lures or new
that.
rods to help with tougher fish bosses, so to speak. But yeah, how is your experience?
And in that last area, the combo thing really helped. The or what do you call it?
I call it the experience multiplier.
That really helps.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't occur to me for most of the game. And I'm like, did I just not read something?
Probably because when you
I must have skimmed when it said
when you enter El Menencia, that's where it pops up, and they say that if you string together battles long enough, the meter will turn blue, and if it turns blue, you have a chance of running into higher level enemies.
Yeah, so I was using that, and then the happy models.
Yeah,
and that really helped.
Yeah, but
I think I was level 51 about when I finished.
That's a good level because I was, I think, 55, 56, and you have to be between that and 60. But the game is very forgiving if you're below a certain threshold.
Right.
Like within 10 levels, you can still beat a certain boss.
Right.
Yeah. But now that you finished your first Tales game, what do you think?
It was fine.
You're.
I don't know. I felt like the skits were way too much.
That's fair.
Two, I feel like after a while the combat kind of drag's not the right word, but I just wasn't as. I mean, again, I didn't switch characters really either, though. So that might have been a part of it.
Is there any reason why you didn't want to switch characters?
Well, I tried Kisara, and I might have tried Law a little bit, and I don't know. Alphen was the only one that felt kind of right to me.
Well,
and I was like, I'm fine playing as him.
Well, if you're not into the combo system, the battles can get kind of repetitive.
Right.
Also, with all the animations having unskippable cutscenes, more or less, kind of add to the combat length. So
but I feel like those are usually quick enough that I don't.
True, but for example, with Scarlet Nexus, you used to have that before the free update, where you could turn off that little flashy animation before a special attack triggers. So maybe that would speed up the battles for you, where it wouldn't feel as repetitive. But yeah, I do agree that in the latter half of the game that the skits can be a bit too much. And also
I like story and characters I liked fine. I do wish the story had I don't know, I didn't like the whole thing where it was revealed the real reason is this, and I'm like, no, I would have preferred it to stay on on the human side of things.
Well, the
But maybe like yeah, you can still do stuff with the Great Spirit, but maybe not involve the Helganquil because
well, if you
I
view
don't
the
know.
Helganquil as angels, then it's pretty much as any religion or religious text we have here. So
True.
I think where the story stumbles is that they start with oppression and slavery bad, and then skip straight to we have to forgive everyone. So there's no talk
Right,
about.
and a lot of people didn't like
Mhm.
how that played out.
I can understand that because when you do that, you skip the important step of rehabilitation, restoration, and reparations,
Right.
and also bringing people who have done wrong to justice. So there's no, how do I say this? There's no settling a score, more or less. It's more
And there's
skipping straight to the kumbaya part.
yeah, because there are still all those Renins besides the ones in Menacia. There's still all those Renins.
Yeah. It
Who probably have those views of Donins, even though they're actually all Donins, but they don't know that. And like
to give an extreme example, it would be like if the whole world after World War II just forgave Germany for what they did. Like, bygones be bygones. We won't bring it up anymore. So, yeah.
right.
It's
So yeah, it
It's
wasn't a
Mhm.
bad story, but yeah, it had a couple of glaring issues.
also
Like
the
Yeah.
whole characters and story being subdued goes out of the window at the latter half, because it gets a bit goofier and more exaggerated as the skits go on. So
yeah, I noticed that.
I think most people didn't complete part 2 or did not bother with the extra stories or skits, and that's why they felt like the characters in the story were.
I felt like I couldn't ignore them half the time because they pop up so much.
Well, you could ignore them. I just didn't because I love skits, even though I do have to admit that they were a bit much. But yeah.
Also, if I could suggest one improvement, make Hoodle playable.
Well, you could play Vesperia, where the animal mascot
Dog.
is playable. I mean,
True.
it doesn't get better than a pipe-smoking dog.
I don't know, a little owl, a little baby. Well, I don't know what he could even do.
Yeah.
He could roll around. I don't know.
He wouldn't be able to do a lot. But does this make you want to play any of the other Tales games?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I already planned on playing Zestiria and Berseria, and I have them already, but now it makes me want to play them more.
Okay.
Like, now I'm more interested in playing them.
Vesperia, most people call a high
Not
point.
Vesperia.
Any
I tried Vesperia. I was not
really?
into it.
Huh? Any reason why?
I heard it doesn't get, like, it like, the combat gets a lot better later. Like, way later into the game. And I'm just like, I don't want to, like, go through this and then have to be waiting that long.
I wouldn't say that long, but your mileage may vary.
But I tried it.
Okay.
And I was not into it. Maybe I'll try it again at some point. And then I played a little bit of Tales of the Abyss on 3DS, and I didn't like that either.
Huh. So I'm guessing you don't like classic Tales, or second incarnation of Tales. You're more of the modern Tales.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. And now we're in postmodern, so yeah. Oh well.
And then today I started playing Mighty Goose, since we covered it a while ago. And I was like, and it's on Game Pass, so I was like, this might be interesting. Very Mega Man, like an old school platformer inspired. It has 2-player co-op. Didn't get the chance to try that, but there are like companions you can get. The first companion you get is just regular duck. And you get like I want to say like in the first level you have to save a weapons guy, and his name is Dr. Vork or something, and he's a pig. And he runs the armory where you get like upgrades, or not upgrades, but when you get new abilities and stuff.
Yeah.
you're mostly like, I just did the first level because it was a little difficult because I was still like trying to figure out everything. But when you die enough times, they give you like a strong. They'll give you drop a stronger weapon for you. And then I also realized like you can buy weapons because you collect a lot of gold coins from defeating enemies, and then you can just buy weapons like then and there. So I did when I was having trouble with the boss in that level. I just said like, okay, what if I bought this thing and it was the like Tesla cannon or something, and it was very effective.
Okay. Are you planning?
I like it so far.
Are you planning on playing some more?
Yeah, probably. There's also a honk button or a honk ability, and when you go into like the description, it's like, this doesn't do anything, but it's kind of fun to do.
Yeah, I get it.
Another titled Goose game.
That's a good one.
But yeah, it's pretty fun if you like kind of like old school side scrollers, kind of Mega Man like things. Then I'd recommend trying it out. I'm not that big into Mega Man type stuff, besides Battle Network, but. But I thought it would be fun to give it a shot.
You continue to surprise me with the things you say.
I mean, I like Mega Man I've never played Mega Man Legends. I've played a little bit of Mega Man X and X4.
Like, what would be a good analogy? It's like someone saying, I don't like the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids movies, but I love the TV series. Something along...
Yeah. Like, I don't like... I don't know.
No, it's fine.
I'm sure there's something that's like. I'm sure there's something I have that's exactly like that.
Yeah.
But and then I played Mega Man. I want to say 10 or 11. I want to say 10. I played Mega Man 10 on like the super easy mode with bass, flying around.
Yeah,
that was years ago. But no, Mega Man was never my biggest thing. But this is Mighty Goose isn't as. I wouldn't say is as difficult as like a Mega Man game is. It still has its challenge, but it's I think it's a little more accessible.
Okay. And it's on Game Pass, right?
Yeah,
okay.
That's how I played it.
Cool. Nice. Okay. I think I'm up. The things I've been playing, I'll start off with the smaller stuff. World Flipper, which has a Japanese VO track, but it's developed by a Korean developer, so bear with me. It's a very charming pinball RPG. I know that doesn't make much sense when I put it like that, but it's a very fun game. The pixel art is also gorgeous. It's not as heavy with the monetization, I want to say, or the gacha element, but it can also, vary from person to person if you want to have like a cute girl or boy on your team, and that would maybe be the incentive you need to spend more money, but for me it's not.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a fun time. I've also been playing Dragon Quest Dai, A Hero Spawns.
How's that?
It's interesting because it's an endless runner, kind of. But in most endless runners, you're very defensive in how you move. You're trying to avoid damage.
Right.
But in Dragon Quest Dai, you're on kind of... how do I explain this? In an action RPG, how you're running towards an enemy to hit it, like say Kingdom Hearts or even something like Devil May Cry. So in Dragon Quest Dai, you're on the reverse of an endless runner, where you run towards the enemy and to hit it with your attacks. So it's a very interesting mix.
Wait, why is it the reverse of an endless runner?
Because
you're still...
well, it depends on the type of endless runner. Because sometimes...
Oh, you're running towards it rather... Oh, no, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Rather than away from something.
Yeah, so it's very... You have to like make that switch in your brain, and it doesn't happen immediately.
Right.
Because I'm used to so many endless runners being the opposite, but it's a fun time. It's also very light on the gacha elements and monetization.
For now.
For now, sure, but it's it's mostly like Dai's story and a crossover story beyond that, and some character specific stories. But it's very light, and maybe they'll add like more references to the core games to keep you coming back. But for now, it's fun enough. It's a nice little thing to keep you busy while you're on your commute or on your lunch break, what have you. But yeah,
right.
It's also very pretty. I think, or I'm assuming, the assets used for this game are probably assets from the upcoming action adventure game. What's it called again?
Infinity Strash.
Yeah, that one. So I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up looking a bit like this game does. And finally, I've also been playing Bayonetta.
For the first time?
No, I used to have it on the Xbox 360, but then the 360 broke. We fixed it, and then my brother, for some reason, gave it away. So I'm left with a save that's never going to be finished. So I just decided, you know what? I have some money. It's like $4 on Steam now. I'll buy it. So I did that, and been playing it on my PC. It runs mostly fine at 60 FPS, but there are some hitches. But I think that's more the transition from console to PC than the game itself on PC running not that well, if that makes sense.
Right.
Like it wasn't made with PC in mind, so I think that's why it's hitching every now and then. But during gameplay, for the most part, it runs excellent. And yeah, I wanted to play Bayonetta because the Bayonetta 3 hype was real, and I wanted something to kind of scratch that itch. And I'm not really marathoning it. I'm just, when I have an hour to spare, I'll dive into it and play it. And yeah, that's been keeping my schedule going. I think I mentioned last week that I finished Tales of Arise. I don't think I'll be revisiting it. There are like 2 extra quests that open up after you finish the game.
Right.
One features enemies at level 100 or 99. So
yeah, I don't know about that.
well, one of the achievements / trophies is that you have to hit level 100. So
yeah, a friend of mine, she got she like platinumed it in like maybe a week and a half.
Well, if you use the XP boost, food items and the happy bottles and the XP multiplier, you'll probably hit level 100 within no time. So I don't see it being that much of a problem. But I don't think I'll be revisiting it. Maybe if I'm like itching to grab a quick fight, but yeah, I think it's retired for now, and it's a fun game. I think part 1 is the strongest part of the game. Part 2 kind of waffles the story a bit.
Waffles it?
Yeah. And the characters are fun and delightful, and the romance is also delightful. And I kind of wish there was more to the world and the characters and the story. But yeah, it's a nice solid effort for the return of the Tales series. Hopefully they manage to keep this level of quality and excitement up for the next iteration. Right. But yeah, that's all I've been playing for this week.
Okay. So next up is the In From Japan J-List, recent video game related entertainment news. First we have first preview trailer for Shin Kamen Rider revealed. This is by Josh Tolentino for Siliconera. It will be a while yet before audiences get a chance to see Shin Kamen Rider, the planned reboot movie based on the original Kamen Rider series and directed by Neon Genesis Evangelion creator Hideaki Anno, is still scheduled to open in early 2023. However, Shin Kamen Rider's newest preview trailer released during a September 30th, 2021 press event promoting the production. The event also showed the world the first look at the movie's stars in their costumes. The Shin Kamen Rider event actually debuted 2 trailers, each very similar to the other but cut differently. The Shin Kamen Rider A trailer is an almost shot-for-shot remake of the original 1971 Kamen Rider intro. Only it shows the new costume and what looks to be 2 new versions of the Cyclone, Kamen Rider's customized motorcycle. The B trailer, meanwhile, uses a few more dynamic angles and seems to include different sound effects for the motorcycle. Both trailers replace the narration at the end with shots of what look to be the villain. The villain also appears to be new, without a close resemblance to any particular monster or baddie from the original series. The event also provided a look at 2 actors from the film, Sosuke Ikematsu and Minami Hamabe. Ikematsu played Ryuzaki in the 2016 Japanese live-action Death Note sequel, while Hamabe appeared in live-action adaptations of Ace Attorney, Saki, and Kakegurui. In Shin Kamen Rider, Ikematsu will play Takeshi Hongo, the brilliant young man abducted by the secret organization Shocker. Takeshi was then modified into a powerful cyborg, Kamen Rider number 1. Hamabe plays Ruriko Midorikawa, the doctor of Dr. Midorikawa, a scientist who helped Takeshi escape Shocker's clutches before they could brainwash him into becoming their super soldier. Hiroshi Fujioka and Chieko Morikawa played the original Takeshi and Ruriko. While Ruriko's bright red coat is a departure from her original look, Takeshi's design as Kamen Rider number 1 is very close to the original with some modern touches. The chest plates seem more rigid, detailed to suggest metal or plastic armor. The transformation belt Typhoon also looks altered, with new parts and individual blades for the fan and its buckle. You can watch the original Kamen Rider on the Shout Factory website for free.
Nice.
Just remember, it's very old and you can also watch the original Ultraman on there. We still don't know what Shin Ultraman is supposed to come out either late this year or early next year. We still haven't gotten an update on that because it was delayed. But it's a good time. Their old tokusatsu show, very silly, very, in some ways, like special effects wise, it's almost reminiscent of 1960s Batman, although it's taking itself a bit more seriously. But yeah, I'm excited. Next up, we have Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's dub soon. This comes from YGO Organization, or The Organization. They do a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! News. We have latest TV Kids newsletter featuring an ad for Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's dub. Seems like the first 52 episodes are confirmed. This covers the first 4 arcs / year 1. No date or channel / streaming platforms announced yet. I can see it going on Netflix. Or I can see it going on anything, because Yu-Gi-Oh's on, you can watch Yu-Gi-Oh! On the Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTube channel, and you can watch most of it on Amazon Prime. You can watch some of it on Netflix.
Yeah, I think I think the later stuff is on Netflix, and the original series also on Prime Video. So
yes,
you have all the options.
I think it's only some of the original series is on Netflix right now, but I think a lot of the series are on Prime, and I know I believe every episode of the series are now available on the Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTube channel, the official one. So that's really nice.
Okay.
We still don't know when that Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's game. They said fall 2021 for the English release of it. So I wonder if they're just going to do a digital-only release, or if they're just not going to meet that window.
Usually, if it's that they're too late in revealing something close to what it's supposed to be, then it's delayed. So I think
I'm sure we'll hear about it at some point.
Yeah.
Next up is recommended content from the past week. Other than news listed out, links in the description and on the pastement. We have What's Your Favorite Castlevania Game by Siliconera staff for Siliconera. Another terrible Pokemon ripoff article, 13 Pokemon imitators and ripoffs that didn't make the cut by Gym Leader Ed for YouTube.
Did you do that?
No, Gym Leader Ed
I know.
Our buddy,
I know.
friend of the show, Gym Leader Ed, did. I did comment on it. I said, how many times do I have to tap the sign? And I linked to my Mon Game article. Because some of it was real bad. Like, people are still writing these. Come on.
It's easy SEO bait. So.
But people know better by now, I would think. I don't know.
You have too much faith in humanity.
Maybe I still do after everything. Yeah. I don't know. The top 5 coolest fan translations of 2021, featured by our friend Lucas White over at Prima Games. Preview Demon Slayer: The Hinokami Chronicles feels like other CyberConnect 2 games by Jenni Lada for Siliconera. Oh, I'm so surprised.
Okay, to CyberConnect's defense, I think what they're doing is making games as accessible to a wide enough audience as possible. They don't really...
Yeah, I'm okay with it playing like that. It's just, there was an animation that looked almost exactly the same, like it was reused from the Naruto one, which is fine. People reuse assets all the time. But it's just like, come on, man.
Look, the dream is that, like with movie productions, game producers or game developers can reuse assets to cut down on costs. So
the dream is that we stop getting anime video games that are always just 3D arena brawlers. That's the real dream.
If you had the money and the people willing to make it, then that would come true. Until then,
Shinobi Striker has its problems, but it's something different.
I guess not really, but I guess.
I mean, it's in a similar vein in some ways, but it's a 4-on-4 multiplayer.
It's basically
it's a team-based game.
I'd like to call it Naruto Overwatch.
Yeah, probably in a way.
That's how it clicks in my head.
All right. Also, we have interview. Suda51 shares possible No More Heroes 3 DLC ideas by Kazuma Hashimoto for Siliconera. And then last, but certainly not least, we have The Life and Career of Ikumi Nakamura by Blake Hester for Game Informer.
Yeah, I highly recommend that one.
So next up, we have the news rundown and with 2 pieces of baddish news. So I'll let our bearer of bad news and Shinigami take it away.
Bankai. First up, we have Gamatsu with a fresh redesign for their website. Just had to shout that out.
Right.
Earth Defense Force 6 delayed to 2022 in Japan, confirmed for PS5 and PS4. Excuse me. This is by Sal Romano for the aforementioned Gamatsu. The 3 publisher has delayed Earth Defense Force 6 from its previously planned 2021 release window to 2022 in Japan, as well as confirmed that it will be available for PS5, PS4, the latest issue of Weekly Famitsu reveals. And that was all. Unfortunate, but we're still in a panini, so development will
in a pancake.
In a pandemi Lovato, as my girlfriend likes to say.
That's a good one.
I dislike it, but there it is.
It's not good. I prefer like the food ones, but still.
Yeah.
In a paella.
In a paella. Next up, we have Nintendo denies reports of 4K Switch dev kits being sent to developers. This is by Andrew Kia for Siliconera. Nintendo has officially denied recent reports that it sent 4K Switch dev kits to developers. The Kyoto-based company stated that the claims were false and reiterated that it does not have plans to release any new model other than the OLED Switch model releasing on October 8th, 2021. They tweeted it out from their corporate account saying, a news report on September 30th, 2021 Japan Standard Time falsely claims that Nintendo is supplying tools to drive game development for a Nintendo Switch with 4K support. To ensure correct understanding among our investors and customers, we want to clarify that this report is not true. The report of a 4K Switch comes from Bloomberg, which revealed that sources from 11 game companies were in possession of a 4K development kit for Nintendo Switch. The sources reportedly come from various publishers and studios across the globe, including mobile game company Zynga. I should add that Kotaku had an update regarding this, saying that Zynga denies that they have a 4K Switch development kit.
Right.
Furthermore, according to Bloomberg, rumored 4K system will not release until late 2022 at the earliest. Okay.
Well, they're about to. Why would they? Even if they did have one in production, they wouldn't say that because they need to sell the OLED models.
Yeah. So, I tweeted this out that none of the information stated is true or untrue. It's just a lot of corporate speak to wiggle around what's out there. And as you say,
right.
They don't want to cannibalize their own sales because the Switch OLED is just about to release. So why
just around the corner? Yeah.
So why would
you just say yeah?
So why would you say, hey, don't maybe buy this one, but next year a better model is coming out? And also, from my knowledge of the industry, what little it may be, usually dev kits are a bit more powerful than the final product ends up being. That's for a myriad of reasons, like debugging, trying to scale down because of certain wishes, or trying to experiment with other stuff because the dev kit allows you to. And if you read the phrasing, Nintendo is saying, falsely claims that Nintendo is supplying tools to drive game development for a Nintendo Switch with 4K support. It could also be another device that they're working on. It could be called the Nintendo Switch 2, which is technically not a lie because they said it's not Nintendo Switch with 4K. It could be Nintendo Switch 2. It could be Nintendo Switch Advance. It could be
Switch U.
It could be Nintendo 4K, whatever.
The Nintendo Switch U, the Nintendo Switch Boy, the Nintendo Switch Cube.
Yeah, that's not bad. I think Spawnwave has a video up last night. You might want to check that out because he phrases this all a lot better than I ever could. But in short, I don't think Bloomberg is lying, and I don't think Nintendo is being 100% correct. But also, they're not lying. It's a whole bunch of...
Right, they're just wording things carefully.
Yes, because investors and customers might get skittish if they know there's a better
another thing
Switch coming. Yeah, so that's all. Also, we're still in a pandemic Lovato. Development plans change all the time.
Also, there's still the whole chip shortage thing,
yes.
And like supply chain. I'd read about like supply chains have been getting like really hampered. And
yes, so
yeah, it's not great.
I think all things considered, all companies vying for chips. I think it was Phil Spencer. I could be mistaken, but some exec said that you can expect 2023 at the earliest for stabilization regarding the chip shortage. So it would also put Nintendo on kind of a very weird timeline with regards to a 4K Switch. Like at that point, why not just call it Switch 2 or Switch Advance or next gen Nintendo product? It kind of also doesn't play well with audience expectation, considering we've had mid-cycle refreshes already with PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 Pro, Xbox One and Xbox One S and One X. So playing off of that, coming in really late when other companies would probably be close to 8K by that point, does not look good in Nintendo's favor. So they want to be really careful with the messaging surrounding this. So, don't believe anything until you see it as it goes. But if you're, frisky like us, you might want to keep an ear to the ground and follow the reliable news sources and rumor mongers where they tend to be. But yeah, that's the bad-ish news. On to the other news. We have Bayonetta 3 is Switch exclusive and port requests go to Nintendo. This is by Stephanie Liu for Siliconera. Platinum Games executive director Hideki Kamiya hinted on Twitter that Bayonetta 3, just like Bayonetta 2, will be a Nintendo Switch exclusive. While this is hardly news, his tweets remind fans of the reality behind video game publishing. He pointed out that the decisions behind what console a game comes out on is not in the developer's hands. Nintendo, as the publisher, is the one who decides how to actually sell the game. Click on the article for even more info. And I mean, I wish people would stop belly aching about this, because they shopped this game around. No one wanted it. Just Nintendo.
I mean, what did you expect after Bayonetta 2 was Wii U? I mean, formerly Wii U exclusive, but it's still Nintendo exclusive.
No, I mean, people are under the impression that Bayonetta is not a Nintendo property.
I mean, it is now.
It definitely is now. Or it has been since Bayonetta 2. It's like, I feel like people in the audience aren't. I should word this carefully before I set off a lot of Twitter threads, but it's disappointing that people keep bringing this up, because Platinum Games have been very clear regarding this. Nintendo owns the publishing rights, and it's in Nintendo's best interest not to put it on any other system, because having it being a Nintendo exclusive drives numbers towards Switch sales. And at the end of the day, it's all about Switch sales. At best, because Nintendo and Microsoft are playing nice these days, you might see it end up on Game Pass. Maybe. There's a sliver of hope there. But all in all, I'd say don't hold your breath for Bayonetta 2 coming on any other platform.
Yeah, I just it's gonna be on Switch, okay? We're gonna have to deal with that.
Yes, at this point, just buy a Switch.
Like, oh, it doesn't have the best graphics and
Do you want to play Bayonetta?
Well, yeah, it's like, well, that's your choice.
Yeah.
Next up, Code Vein shipments and digital sales top 2 million. Milestone achieved 2 years after release. This is by Saruman Fugamatsu. Total shipments and total sales, digital sales for Code Vein have surpassed 2 million units. Publisher Bandai Namco Entertainment and developer Bandai Namco Studios announced. That's it. Good. Let's get a sequel.
I mean,
I need to finish the first one, but still, let's get a sequel announced at some point.
Yeah, I think it's very likely.
Possible.
Yeah. But
I don't remember it reviewing all that poorly. People were like, "It's all right."
It was in the high 7s, low 8s. So I think it's very likely to be getting a sequel.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 million is nothing to scoff at.
Yeah, and then I wonder how much Game Pass helps. Well, I don't know if it helps sales, but I wonder just like.
I think it helps a lot to drive conversation.
Yeah, probably.
And now with Scarlet Nexus coming and the Isomnium files, which we'll talk about later.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl trailer, details and screenshots, Poketch, Amity Square, and Pofins. This is by Saruman Fugamatsu once again. The Pokemon Company and developers Ilka and Game Freak have released new info, footage, and screenshots for Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Pokemon Shining Pearl, introducing the game's Poketch gadget, Amity Square, and Pofins. This stuff is all stuff, if you've played the original Diamond and Pearl, you probably already know about it. Like the Poketch is like the Pokegear. It has a dowsing machine that can locate hidden items. It also allows players to call on wild Pokemon to help them out by using hidden moves like Cut to chop down obstructive trees or Rock Climb to scale steep cliffs. That's good. We're keeping with the 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 no HMs thing.
That's good. More of that.
And then Pokemon, you can walk with up to 6 Pokemon at a time in Amity Park as long as they're among the list of permitted Pokemon.
Okay, I guess.
And then photos can be taken, make some Pofins, stuff to feed Pokemon. And it's kind of just whatever. It's like, yep, that's a Diamond and Pearl remake.
Yep.
I'm surprised there's no, like, they didn't do, this time around, they didn't do, Primal Dialga and Primal Palkia.
I think they
or at least haven't revealed anything like that.
I think they reserved that for the Arceus game.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
Which we're talking about right now.
Exactly.
Pokemon Latest Arceus trailer and screenshots, Arc Phone, Alpha Pokemon, Rideable Pokemon, and Jubilife Village. Once again by Sawamata Furugamatsu. Pokemon Company and Game Freak released new info, footage, and screenshots for Pokemon Legends Arceus. Your Arc Phone will be your guide. Players will get a device called the Arc Phone. Its distinctive appearance might lead one to suspect it has some connection to the mystical Pokemon Arceus. This device seems to contain some sort of strange power and will apparently help guide players on their journey. You get a smartphone in like the feudal area, so I think there's some time travel shenanigans going on.
Or it could just be a steampunk-ish thing.
Which makes sense though, because this would be, being in the Hisui or Sinnoh region, this would have to do with Dialga.
I don't think so.
A time Pokemon.
Because, they might not want to...
Again, Taco has way better theories on all this stuff than I do.
Okay.
Pokemon does some weird multiverse stuff.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I don't want...
It does. It does some weird multiverse stuff that a lot of people don't pay attention to that.
I don't want people getting too excited for something that might...
I'm not saying people should get excited. I'm just saying there might be some weird time... I'm not saying in the game you'll get to travel to the future. I'm just saying there might be
some kind of weird...
Yeah.
Okay. So that means this game is definitely up your alley.
Yeah. Then special Pokemon with mysterious power. During their expedition, players may run into Pokemon that are larger than normal and have glowing red eyes. These are known as Alpha Pokemon. They're stronger than their regular counterparts, and they'll be quite aggressive in chasing and attacking players that stray too close. There are also special Pokemon in the Hisui region that have received some kind of mysterious blessing. Some of these Pokemon are particularly powerful and have come to be known as nobles, while others are said to willingly assist the people of the region. Each one of these Pokemon seems to hold a power not held by regular Pokemon. People known as wardens are tasked with looking after these Pokemon by performing duties, such as making sure the nobles' territories remain unviolated, or providing offerings of food and water. These Pokemon nobles are revered by the people of the region, but some strange phenomenon is now causing them to suddenly fly into a frenzy. The cause of these incidents is still shrouded in mystery. Once frenzied, these Pokemon are incredibly difficult to rein in, which forces the people of Hisui to turn to the Galactic Expedition Team for help. As part of the Survey Corps, you will be called upon to quell the frenzies of the nobles. And then a new Pokemon was announced, Kleavor, the Axe Pokemon. It is 5 feet 11 inches tall, it weighs 196.2 pounds, and is a bug rock type. Special minerals found in the Hisui region cause Scyther to evolve into this Pokemon. Parts of its bodies have hardened into stone. The stone's parts often get chipped during fierce battles, and Kleavor that have survived many battles will display larger chipping across their bodies. It is said that the people of Hisui once used pieces of stone that had fallen from Kleavor to craft tools. And then there's the riding Pokemon that they covered before. Your home base with a clothier and hairdresser, so you can make your own, have your own custom look. A photography studio where players can take pictures alongside their Pokemon, and general store and craft works, and then pastures, which is where you leave Pokemon, which basically like the same functions as a PC.
Okay.
But you're putting them in a pasture instead.
But old tiny.
Yeah. Like, if you look at the thing, it even looks like they're putting them into a PC almost.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's interesting. we got a new Pokemon, a new regional variant, and a few more details. I'm still pretty excited for this game, despite the people saying, "Oh, it looks so bad graphically still," and I'm like, "It looks fine to me. Whatever."
Yeah, it looks good.
I don't know. Watch where you say that because people will get mad at you.
Let the record state, I said Legend of Arceus or Legend Arceus looks good.
Oh boy.
I'll put it on the T-shirt. I'll make it my
I think
Twitter
it looks
header.
fine. Oh no.
Bring it.
Next up, Metal Dogs coming to PS4, Switch this winter. This is by Saruman for Gamatsu One. Because again, this is the Metal Max spinoff roguelite action game, Metal Dogs, which first launched in early access for PC via Steam on August 24th. Will launch for PS4 and Switch this winter, developer 24 Frame announced. The console version will ship with new bosses. Additional quest features he spelled two wrong. Features 2 watchdogs, new costumes, and more, all of which will be also added to the PC version. So yeah, I might try that out when it comes out.
Yeah. Looks like a weird, fun time.
I mean, it's a roguelite where you play as dogs. You would think this would be getting a lot more coverage.
Maybe that's the exact reason why it's not getting more coverage.
Hey man, people like games with dogs in them. I don't know.
Yeah, sure,
I don't know what to tell you.
But like, imagine the writer's room. Like, how do you even pitch this?
Well, Metal Max is already a niche series in the first place.
Exactly. So a spin-off of a niche series. Does that make it double niche?
It's just called Metal Dogs. It's not called Metal Max. So people
is...
might not even... People might get this without even knowing what it's connected to and like it. Who knows?
Yeah. All right. Next up, we have Shin Megami Tensei 5 English voice cast reveal trailer.
It did say reveal. Yeah. So I had to change the...
This is by Matsu
Sal.
Listen, Sal, I might be free to edit some few things. Call me, DM me. I'm cheap. Atlas has released a new trailer for Shin Megami Tensei 5, introducing the game's English voice cast. The English voice cast consists of the following actors. I want to clarify that was a joke earlier. All respect for Sal Romano because he does a lot of work. Like, it's easy to slip.
But that's just kind of a whoops.
Yeah, it's a whoops. It's fine. Whatever. Protagonist voiced by Casey Mongilo. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Tao Isonokami voiced by Jenni Tirado. Do you want me to read them all or just say, watch the trailer with a voice cast review?
The cast also includes Mark Whitten, Ashlyn Madden, Stuart Allen, Sean Kristin, Cissy Jones, Ben Lepley, Laura Post, Damon Mills, Erica Lindbeck, Kellen Goff, Chris Hackney, and Deva Marie.
Yeah.
Now, you know what I'm happy about here?
Cissy Jones?
I've only heard of a few of these voice actors.
Wow. Really?
Yes.
Huh. Well,
Erica Lindbeck, Damon Mills, and Gina Tirado.
Cissy Jones is from Firewatch, if I'm not mistaken, and she has done a bit more. Let me check this just to be sure. Yes. Yes. Oh, she was also in Dragon Quest Your Story as Mada. She also speaks for Kaguya Otsuki for Naruto Shippuden.
Oh.
Hey. Let's see. As for games, she was in The Walking Dead as Katja. She was in... let's see. Batman Arkham Knight as Nora Freeze. Firewatch as Delilah. It's probably her most well-known role. Let's see. Destiny 2, she's Sloane.
Okay, I get it. But no, what I'm saying is, this isn't like... I'm happy this isn't like the... And no knock against their performances, of course. But this isn't like the Troy Baker, Laura Bailey, Travis Willingham, etc.
Look, I love those actors. And
I think they're fine. I just think they've done too much. I think it's good to let other voice actors do more
yes,
things.
other actors getting jobs is a good thing, but no slight against Travis Willingham, Laura
Shout out
Bailey,
to
or Travis
Sh-
Barker.
Troy Barker.
Troy Barker.
Travis Barker is from Blink 182.
Hey, he might have done a voice role. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just all the small things.
Okay, at least your pun game is better these days.
I didn't know what song. I was like, I went to that. That's like the last concert I went to as well.
All the small things?
No, Blink 182.
Oh. Okay. I guess. Well, did you end up meeting a girl at a rock show?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I'm happy with this. I mean, hopefully the cast is good.
It sounds good. I've seen the trailer.
Yeah.
It sounds good. Okay.
I'm excited for this game. And yeah,
Yeah.
it comes out November 12th for a Switch exclusive, which some people are not happy about, but whatever.
As with Bayonetta 3, let me tap the sign again. Buy a Switch. If you're unable to, that's totally fine.
That's true, because Shin Megami Tensei 4 and 4 Apocalypse were both 3DS games.
Yeah, so it has been a
So-
Nintendo property, quote unquote, for some time now.
Also, you should be happy that this isn't a 3DS game.
Anyway, next
Imagine
up,
the new 3DS game in 2021.
people would riot. Next up, we have Microsoft opens its Windows Store up to third-party app. Third-party app stores, yes. That's the correct headline. This is by Tom Warden for The Verge. Microsoft is opening up its own app store in Windows even further today, inviting third-party app stores to integrate into the Microsoft Store. It's a significant change that will see both Amazon and Epic Game Store discoverable in the Microsoft Store in the coming months. Just like any other app, third-party storefront apps will also have a product detail page, which can be found via search or by browsing, so that users can easily find and install it with the same confidence as any other app in the Microsoft Store on Windows, explains Giorgio Sarto, General Manager of the Microsoft Store. Today we are sharing that Amazon and Epic Games will bring their storefront apps to the Microsoft Store over the next few months, and we look forward to welcoming other stores as well in the future. So yeah, good news for all of you who want more from the Microsoft Store.
Yeah, because it doesn't work that well. Also, it has a problem on Xbox where it's always constantly updating, but it like never updates, but then it works fine. So
you might want
I don't know what that is.
You might want to close any games or other downloads that are going on and then restart it. That always works for me.
Okay. Yeah, because that'll like happen, but it won't do anything. So everything still works fine. So I'm just like, it's just being weird.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Phil Spencer. Xbox wants to help bring Japanese games to players around the world. This is by Giuseppe Nova for Twinfinite. During the Tokyo Game Show 2021 Xbox live stream, Phil Spencer himself had an announcement to make and talked about the Japanese Xbox market. On top of that, he announced that xCloud will release in Japan tomorrow, which is tomorrow, alongside Australia, Brazil, and Mexico. Hi everyone, it's great to be back, albeit virtually, at the Tokyo Game Show. I know it's a big year for the show, celebrating the 25th anniversary. Okay, no, I'll skip that. We're humbled by the creativity and dedication of our partners, who have included Bandai Namco, Capcom, Koei Tecmo, Konami, Sega, and Square Enix, to name a few. We have always enjoyed wonderful support in Japan, and in recent years, Japan has emerged as the fastest growing market for Xbox anywhere in the world. This is one reason why I'm so pleased to announce here at Tokyo Game Show 2021, Xbox Cloud Game, The Tokyo Game Show is an important part of our commitment to the Japanese market and the Asia region overall. It's an honor to support the show and our Japanese partners. We're working with Japanese publishers every single day to increase our lineup of Japanese games on Xbox. We know it's really important to fans and customers on Xbox. We also added more than 100 titles in Game Pass from partners in Japan, and it has really helped the Xbox community find games that maybe they haven't played in the past through an easy mechanism. But it's not about big developers. We now have more than 200 Japanese developers at our ID at Xbox program, or in our ID at Xbox program, which really highlights the most creative independent games for broad audiences everywhere on the planet. We're also working to increase console supply. I know that's a big issue. People want consoles, and we're constantly working to get more consoles into the market. We're excited by the growth of the Japanese gaming, and we want not only to participate, but to help bring Japanese games to players around the world. Good.
Yeah, and I'm also reading a lot of industry experts saying that Game Pass or game streaming being accessible to Japan will be a major win probably for Microsoft because widespread...
Yeah, the fact that you can do it on your phone.
Yeah, widespread internet adoption, games being streamable to your phone or tablet or even older hardware will make it accessible and easier to use for
possibly TV at some point.
Yeah, so it's going to be a very big thing for smaller markets, and I can't wait to see how it grows from there.
Next up, speaking of Xbox stuff, we have Xbox Live Gold October lineup includes Resident Evil Code Veronica X. This is by Kazuma Hashimoto for Siliconera. Xbox revealed its Games with Gold lineup, which includes Resident Evil Code Veronica X and Castlevania Harmony of Despair. These titles will be available to play entirely for free through the subscription service. Players will also have access to Arrow and Hover. However, Resident Evil Code Veronica X and Castlevania Harmony of Despair will only be available to play for free through the Xbox Live Gold service for a limited time. So the two key things here are Castlevania Harmony of Despair is available from October. Well, it's actually available now. By the time this episode out, it will be available, but it's already available in the past, a day early. But so Castlevania October 1st to October 15th, and Resident Evil Code Veronica X October 16th to October 31st. The versions of Resident Evil Code Veronica X and Castlevania Harmony of Despair that will appear through this service will be the Xbox 360 versions of the game. And while games like Resident Evil Code Veronica X will no longer be available to play for free once its period of availability passes, it will still be available to purchase. Unfortunately, the Castlevania Harmony of Despair, even though it is known for online co-op, I don't think you can play it online anymore.
Or it could it could be that the online pool is just so small these days that you are probably not going to get a connection with someone else.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, next up we have Scarlet Nexus now available on Xbox Game Pass version 1.04 update and DLC Bond Enhancement Pack 1 announced. This is by Sal Romano for Gamatsu. Publisher Bandai Namco Entertainment and developer Bandai Namco Studios have added Scarlet Nexus to Xbox Game Pass for console, cloud, and PC, as well as announced the upcoming version 1.04 update and downloadable content Bond Enhancement Pack number 1. You can click on the article for a full breakdown of what's included and a couple of trailers. I finally have an excuse to buy Xbox Game Pass now because I was looking forward to buying Scarlet Nexus on sale right now, and it's about the same price as 3 months of Game Pass. So, you know, Game Pass continues to be the best deal in gaming. Please sponsor us, Microsoft, please. One of these days. Next up, the Somnium Files, now available for Xbox One, Windows 10. This is by Sal Romano once again for Gamatsu. Publisher and developer Spike Chunsoft have released the Somnium Files for Xbox One and Windows 10 via Microsoft Store for $39.99 as well as via Xbox Game Pass. Click on the article for a full breakdown and details. So I own this game on Steam. I still have not touched it.
Yeah, I own it on PS4. I touched it a little bit, and then I stopped for other things. I plan on going back to it at some point.
Yeah. What was I busy doing? I don't remember, because I was like in the Zero Escape bundle with this game.
Right.
I'm still on Zero Escape 2. I have to restart that.
Virtue's Last Reward.
Yeah. There's Zero Escape 3, Zero Dilemma, I guess, and then Somnium Files.
Zero Time Dilemma.
Yeah.
Which is not as good. Still good.
Which I
but
keep hearing.
great.
So maybe I'll just skip straight ahead to Somnium Files.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
Unless at the end of VLR you really want to find out about that time period.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'll flip a coin if need be.
Next up, Akatsuki Tokyo Games Tribe 9 project gets TV, anime, smartphone RPG, webtoon. This is by Egan Liu for Anime News Network. The live-streamed Extreme Progress Report number 00 for Akatsuki and Tokyo Games' new Tribe 9 project announced on Thursday that the project has a television anime, a smartphone 3D action role-playing game, and a webtoon greenlit. As announced in the first promotional video below, the anime will start airing and streaming next January. And there's the cast. Funimation announced that it is co-producing the anime and that Yu Aoki is directing the anime at Linden Films. There's some other people. Kazutaka Kodaka from the Danganronpa franchise is credited with the original story concept. Akatsuki and Tokyo Games describe the project set in 20XX in the country of Neo-Tokyo, where young people from tribes form tribes after the collapse of society. This title is set in a fictional location that is similar to the 23 Wars of Tokyo, with outlaw gangs of each war battling for prestige via extreme baseball.
It's extreme.
Thursday's event debuted the first promotional video for the smartphone 3D action RPG. I'm just guessing it's violent.
Possibly. It's the same character design as that of the Danganronpa games, written by Kodaka. It definitely does have that vibe, but how violent it ends up being, I have no idea. It looks promising, though.
Yes.
I saw the trailer.
So we'll see.
Next up, we have Monster Hunter Rise PC version launches January 12th, 2022. Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection and Sonic the Hedgehog collaborations announced. This is by Sal Romano for Gamatsu. The PC version of Monster Hunter Rise will launch via Steam on January 12th, 2022 worldwide, Capcom announced. A free demo will launch on October 13th. You can click on the article for the full breakdown, screenshots, and trailers. So will you be playing this again on Steam or PC?
It depends on maybe if my friends are more interested in it this time, because the friends I play with are mostly on PC.
Oh, there you go.
So maybe they will be, but I guess because Sunbreak isn't coming until summer anyway. Hopefully Sunbreak is on both PC and Switch at the same time.
They announced it for both platforms at the same time.
Oh, okay, good.
But that frame rate, though, it looks really good, really, really good.
I mean, it never looked that bad on Switch, I don't think.
No, definitely not. But the 60 FPS or uncapped frame rate goes a long way.
Right.
Also, abreast textures look mighty good.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Was that all?
Yeah, that was all.
Did we cover Sunbreak last week?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right. So, in more important Monster Hunter news, Monster Hunter Stories 2 to add Molten Tigrex and Dread King Rathalos. This is from Siliconera by Kazuma Hashimoto. Capcom has announced through Twitter when the next series of updates for Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin will arrive starting on September 30th, 2021. Okay, so already out. The next series of updates will roll out. This will add the Molten Tigrex and the Kulve Terra high difficulty co-op quest into the game. Additionally, more updates will arrive in early October. The Dread King Rathalos will arrive in Monster Hunter Stories 2 through the October 7th, 2021 update. Each of these updates will add more co-op quests, new subquests, and delivery quests for players to undertake. While the Dread King Rathalos will arrive through the first October update, the Silver Rathalos and Gold Rathian will arrive in Monster Hunter Stories 2 sometime later that month. There's also a high difficulty quest that will arrive sometime through a future update that Capcom has yet to reveal. So, they've been doing this thing where they'll do the co-op version of the quest, and then they'll give us some time, and then the next update, they'll give you a single-player version.
Well,
So you don't have to play with anyone else if you don't want to.
that's interesting.
It's nice when you don't want to do co-op.
I mean, there are probably more single players than co-op players. Just guessing.
Or if you're like me and you keep dying to the same monster and you feel bad for the person who does the quest with you.
Yeah, there's also that.
I did the single player quest for the Elder Frost Gammoth, and I was doing pretty well, and then I died. So I just need to level up and upgrade that armor and do a couple more things.
Yeah. I still haven't played it, you know.
How dare you?
I mean, I've been busy.
Next up, Monster Hunter Stories 2 Fatalis quest will arrive in October. This is by Jenni Lada for Siliconera. Capcom revealed the Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin October 2021 mystery monster during its TGS 2021 presentation. Fatalis is on the way. Specifically, on October 21st, 2021, the Fatalis high difficulty co-op exclusive monster quest will appear as a free update. It's one of Monster Hunter's elder dragons. The creature appeared in installments like Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, Monster Hunter 4, and Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. Also appeared in the original Monster Hunter stories. That I didn't know. Maybe it was one of the things I didn't do in the first game. Or it was in one of the expansions that we did not get here.
Probably.
As for the Monster Hunter Stories 2 quest, the presentation offered a hint as to its difficulty. People will have to slay Fatalis in a limited number of turns. If you don't, you will fail the quest. And we have a few quests like that already. And there's a brief video of it. So yeah, more quests for that. Good. I do wonder if Stories 2 will get an expansion at some point.
By the way things are looking, probably summer, fall-ish next year.
And they just haven't announced it yet?
Probably. I mean, the
if it's getting one.
I mean, the Rise DLC got announced.
Isn't it till summer? Yeah.
I think 6 months into the gameplay cycle, I want to say. Maybe even
right.
longer.
So we'd still have a few. Yeah. So we'd still have a few months.
Yeah. So keep your eyes peeled.
Next up, Neo Geo Pocket Color Selection Volume 1 Steam Edition now available for PC. Includes 10 classes games. This is by Saruman Fugamatsu once again. Publisher SNK and developer Code Mystics have released SNK vs. Capcom, the match of the Millennium for PC via Steam for $39.99. It is available at a 20% off discount price of $31.99 until October 6th. Oh, this is... Wait, did he do that wrong? Wait a minute.
How so?
Yeah, he... So he put the... Okay, no, that's wrong.
Okay.
No, the Neo Geo Pocket Color Selection is $39.99.
Okay.
So he put the wrong name. And it features SNK Gals Fighters, Samurai Showdown 2, King of Fighters R2, The Last Blade, Beyond the Destiny, Fatal Fury First Contact, Metal Slug First Mission, Metal Slug Second Mission, Dark Arms Beast Buster 1999, Crush Roller, and Big Tournament Golf. So yeah, if you like your retro Neo Geo stuff. But also, they released SNK vs. Capcom, the Match of the Millennium on Steam, which is only $7.99 actually.
That's a good
and
price.
if you like your crossover fighters and don't mind the whole SNK being owned by
you know who.
Yeah, having a very high
checkered past, to say the least.
Majority stakeholder in it, being a majority stakeholder of SNK.
Yeah.
But if you like crossover fighters, like, and yeah, like, it's no Marvel versus Capcom 2, but
They're
it's something.
they're probably working up their way to the Capcom versus SNK games, like the bigger crossovers, not the Pocket Fighter ones. So
Like the 3D, the ones for console.
yeah.
Man, and I wish they would re-release Tatsunoko versus Capcom, but that must be a licensing nightmare.
Yeah, because it's Nintendo, it's Capcom, and it's Tatsunoko.
Right, and not just that, but a bunch of like their region exclusive characters as well.
Yeah, and the rights in the Western regions
Are all weird.
might be represented by different companies these days. So
I'm very shocked that we're even able to get that new Super Robot Wars.
yeah, I mean, I think Bandai
But I
Namco,
think we just got lucky with that one.
and I think Bandai Namco moved heaven and earth to get all their ducks in a row to be able to release that.
I think maybe Bandai helps with a lot of the figures for those franchises, or the franchises represented in that one specifically, so it worked out easier.
Sure, probably.
Next up, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel launches this winter. This is by Sawamata Furumatsu once again. Digital card game Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel will launch for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, PC via Steam, iOS, and Android this winter. Publisher and developer Konami announced. The company also confirmed that the game will feature a solo mode. So there's a whole presentation in English, and in Japanese. What's interesting, I saw something about the story. The single-player story is not based on anime lore.
Huh.
It's based on card lore,
That's interesting.
which is something I don't think they've really ever done before.
No.
And there is like a handful of Yu-Gi-Oh card lore.
That is true. So it'd
it.
be kind of like the Magic the Gathering version of
Right.
of Yu-Gi-Oh.
So, I mean, plus they just did one thing with a lot of duels from the anime with Legacy of Duelist Link Evolution. And then we're about to get Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's Rush Duel, the new anime, that game.
Yeah,
So, yeah, maybe they decided to do something a little different with it.
that is true. Okay, next up we have Sony Interactive Entertainment acquires Bluepoint Games. This is by Sal Romano for Komatsu. Sony Interactive Entertainment has acquired Shadow of the Colossus and Demon's Souls remake developer Bluepoint Games, the company announced. Well, you can click on the article to have a full breakdown and a trailer attached to the announcement. Well, a video attached to the announcement. Good to hear. I mean, no one expected this. No one. Absolutely no one. This came out of left field.
Yeah, well, did it really come out of left field, though?
I'm joking. I know it didn't come out of left field. What do you think they're going to be working on?
Well, didn't they say they're going to be working on making an original game?
They said original content, but original content could either be...
I thought they meant, like, not a remake.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Original content could mean either their own original game or a new entry in an existing IP series. What do you
a lot of people think
that
that Metal Gear Solid thing that's been rumored for a long time, but
I don't think that's
I don't know about that
I don't think that's
because
true.
Konami has to sign up on that.
Yeah, I mean, and also, why do you want Metal Gear Solid?
I don't want Metal Gear Solid. A lot of other people want it.
I mean, I think there are... I don't want to sound dismissive of Metal Gear fans, but I think there are other games that might need that shot in the spotlight more than Metal Gear Solid.
I wonder if they do an Ico remake.
I mean...
They did Shadow of the Colossus.
It would bring the whole trilogy into modern households. That's a good question. What could they be making? Yeah, I don't
Medieval 2
know. No, I don't think so.
remake.
I think they gave up after Medieval 1.
That
But
was Other Ocean,
yeah.
who actually did the Yu-Gi-Oh! Link Evolution.
I mean, there's always that Legend of Dragoon thing people keep drumming on about.
Oh, right.
Uh, And
That'd be cool.
a certain The Gamer editor would probably flip if it ended up being true. So,
Who? What?
Stephanie Miner.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, her Twitter handle is diehard Dragoon, so I think that says it all.
Oh, okay.
So,
That could be a Final Fantasy reference.
well, Blue Point, make it happen so we can have Stephanie on the show. That's all I ask.
Yeah, I wonder what they're working on. Like, I still need to play both Shadow of the Colossus remake and, Shadow of the Colossus is one of my favorite games of all time, and I still have not played the remake, and I own it.
I've played.
And then I have Demon Souls.
I've played the remake, and it's a very good remake. The controls might, be a bit too dated.
Right. Is jump still triangle?
No, so there's an updated control scheme, quote unquote modern control scheme, which you can use instead of the traditional ones.
Right.
It's still not the best thing ever, but it's doable.
No. But triangle jump always was what felt weird to me.
Yeah, because I think the way Ueda-san envisioned the game was kind of like having a puppet show, and it kind of feels like how you control a puppet in a play, if that makes sense.
There's a game they need to re-release or remake or remaster, Puppeteer. That's
Yeah,
a Team Japan game though.
That could be great. But yeah, next up we have Tango Gameworks is already developing its next game after Ghostwire Tokyo. This is by Jason Koskri. I hope I pronounced that right. For IGN. As fans continue to wait for the release of Ghostwire Tokyo from Tango Gameworks, studio founder Shinji Mikami has revealed another new title is already in the works, and it's being led by Evil Within 2's director. Mikami appeared in a video with Xbox head Phil Spencer as part of Microsoft's livestream event during the first day of the Tokyo Game Show, and hinted at a new title, saying that John Johannes, the director of Evil Within 2, is working on it. Mikami mentioned Johannes when prodded by Spencer to talk about the Tango Gameworks philosophy of fostering young new talent. Right now, John is in the middle of working energetically on a new game, Mikami told Spencer. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that.
Oh, and Evil Within and Evil Within 2 are on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Just wanted to mention that.
Since they're,
if you want to get in a spooky mood. Also, Resident Evil 7 is also on Game Pass.
I want to say yes.
I just looked
earlier
today.
Okay. Next up, we have ex-Tango Gameworks developer Ikumi Nakamura is working on Gungrave's sequel. This is by Jason Koskri once again for IGN. During Tokyo Game Show 2021, Gungrave Gore publisher Koch Media showcased a new gameplay video and announced that Ikumi Nakamura is involved in the game's development. While the first half of the trailer is dedicated to cinematic scenes from the Gungrave sequel, the second half shows the game in action, including scenes showing combat with guns and swordplay. Gungrave Gore is the latest title in the Grave series of 3D action games. The title centers around Grave, a former mafia member who died once and has returned after being resurrected through a surgical procedure. He acquired a stronger body in exchange for losing his memories, and as a result can perform superhuman feats. In the trailer, Grave was seen unleashing stylish attacks against a large number of enemies. According to the trailer, Grave can attack using a combination of guns, swords, and by kicking enemies. Publisher Koch Media announced that Ikumi Nakamura, who previously worked on The Evil Within and Ghostwire Tokyo at Tango Gameworks, is involved in the development. Nakamura's role on Gungrave Gore was not specified, but it sounds like more information will follow. Okay, so that's great.
This game was announced a while ago, but
Yeah,
I'm hoping it looked good, and I'm hoping
if I'm not mistaken,
it's good.
they also had like a VR game.
Yes.
A couple of years back.
A while back, yeah.
So there's that. I've never seen the anime.
No, I've been meaning to. It's on. I believe it's on our Hulu over here. It's on US Hulu.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, didn't Kosuke Fujishima do character designs? I might be mistaken, but oh well.
Hang on, let me see.
Oh yeah, it's
not the. When I went to Gungrave, it went straight to the PS2 game, not the anime.
Yeah, it says here Gungrave received critical acclaim for the character designs provided by series creator Yasuhiro Naito,
Who also did Trigun.
Yeah, and mechanical designs provided by Kosuke Fujishima from Oh My Goddess, You're Under Arrest, Sakura Wars, and Tales of Symphonia and other Tales games. So yeah, there's that. And finally, we have the Game Awards 2021 dated. Will be in person at Microsoft Theater. This is by Kenneth Shepard for Fanbyte. Jeff Keighley has announced the 2021 Game Awards and has set a date and venue for its return to an in-person event following 2020's digital award show last year due to the coronavirus pandemic. The show will take place on Thursday, December 9th at the Microsoft Theater in Los Angeles, California. Now that the date is set, we're likely going to be seeing teases about trailers and world premieres. Keighley will be showing off at the ceremony and will also be hearing nominees
world premiere
for his various awards. Jeff, hire us to do VO, which I'm sure will once again bring everyone who likes video games together, as the winner of the Game of the Year is something we can all collectively agree on.
That's not true.
I think Kenneth is being very, very generous in that assessment. So, yeah.
I really liked 2019, where every outlet seemed to have a different Game of the Year pick.
It happens
that was cool.
Every, I want to say, 2 or 3 years when a massive influx of indies and double A's rears their
I think
head.
this year we could get that again. Because what was Game of the Year last? What was it, like?
Let's see.
I think Hades was best indie game, which well deserved.
Wasn't it Last of Us 2?
I want to say yes, but
the Game Awards. I'm looking it up. Okay. Yeah, The Last of Us Part 2 was 2020. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice was 2019.
2019, yes.
Yeah.
It was the thing that. What was the one that I was not?
Breath of the Wild?
No, not that.
God of War.
Impact. We had. I'm trying to remember the best role-playing game, and Yakuza Like a Dragon didn't get it, and I was disappointed.
Yeah.
But of course, Final Fantasy VII Remake got it because.
I mean, Final Fantasy versus.
Also, this was the weird thing where One Punch Man was in the best fighting game category. It didn't win, but it was nominated.
Yeah, it's usually
that was weird.
It's kind of something like people nominating games they think might be representative of the category, but it could also mean not a lot of people played fighting games that ended up voting for games.
Who was best performance?
Okay, best.
Laura Bailey as Abby. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, well deserved because Abby was a phenomenal character.
I don't know. I disagree. I think Najee Jeter should have gotten it for Miles Morales.
I haven't played Miles Morales yet, so I can't speak to that.
Okay.
But Laura Bailey as Abby is a phenomenal role.
Or Kaiji Tang as Ichiban from Yakuza Like a Dragon, but he wasn't even nominated.
I mean, it could be. I also haven't played Like a Dragon.
This is a Western award show, so whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of the same problems the Emmys and the Oscars go through.
Right.
It's a lot Western focused, and mostly.
Although, like, there have been stuff here and there. That's when what's it called, Joker for Smash was announced.
Yeah.
At the Game Awards a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, I remember predicting something like that happening. Not that it was Joker for Smash, but something Persona 5 related, with the lights turning off and the Persona 5 music coming on. Like, the way they did it. I was like, oh, they're doing the thing.
Well, Persona is pretty big in the West these days. Persona 5
Well, yeah.
being the apex, I believe. And Smash is still Smash. So I think that all coincided very well.
So do you think Sora is going to be the last character of Kingdom Hearts?
I wanted, but just for Cam Hawkins to have his dream come true. I have no other hopes and aspirations for the final
There have been
character.
some rumors about it for a while. Some people are like, please don't be Sora. Some people are like, please yes be Sora.
Listen, they didn't give me Lloyd Irving for Smash. They just gave him a Mii costume. So
Mii costume?
you know,
They didn't give anybody Geno or Bomberman. Well, Bomberman is an assist trophy, but it's not a playable
the
character.
internet would flip if it was Geno as the final character.
Yeah.
Like,
Especially because he already has a Mii costume.
yeah.
Does Mallow have a Mii costume? When do they put Mallow in there? That would be really funny.
Yeah, I think Mallow would be good.
The
But
Cloud Man.
Yeah, I have no idea who could be the final character. Like Kratos, Master Chief, Doom
Kratos.
Guy.
Master Chief, Doom Guy.
Crash Bandicoot. Klonoa.
Klonoa? Oh, that's really pulling from a...
Frogger. Hey,
Bubsy.
Klonoa would be a good character, though, now that I think about it.
Bubsy the Bobcat.
No, I think people would just quit
People
in
would not be
mass
happy.
if it was Bubsy.
Yeah. Mighty Goose. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it might be Sora. I don't know who it would be if it isn't.
Listen, we'll see. We'll see.
We'll find out in October, right?
Okay.
There's we have a date for it,
Yeah.
for when they're revealing it.
Oh well. Oh well. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see soon enough.
Yeah, we'll see soon.
We don't have any time for it. I'll save the main topic for another time. Once again, gotta skip over listener questions, but I think we got a good amount of news here and discussion and stuff.
Yeah, it was a good episode. I mean, Tokyo Game Show came in hot and heavy at the last minute.
Right, it's not over yet, so we'll have more news for you next week.
Yeah, so look forward to that. Thank you for listening. Once again, be kind to each other, be kind to yourself. Have fun out there.
Keep wearing a mask.
if possible.
Get vaccinated.
If possible.
If you can. Wash your hands. Take a shower.
Wash your butt.
Brush your teeth.
Wash below your legs or below your knees, because
If you're going out
nasty.
around other people, wear deodorant.
Yeah. Also, go outside, touch some grass. I hear it's quite fun.
Don't stare directly at the sun. That's a bad thing to do.
Eat your vegetables. Maybe drink some milk if you're not
fruits and
lactose.
veggies.
Yeah, if you're not lactose intolerant, drink some milk. Have fun out there. Play a video game. Watch anime. Read manga. Read a book with letters without pictures.
With letters.
Or, listen to an audiobook if you're visually impaired or otherwise impaired.
Right.
Yeah.
It's always a good option.
Yeah. Accessibility for all.
Yes.
This has been
And
Jason.
you also never know who might be voicing or narrating.
There's also that.
Could be surprised.
It could be us one day. Who knows?
I don't think I have the voice for that. I'd mess up lines so much.
Well, this has been Erroll. This has been Jason. Thank you for listening. And we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Yep. Matane.